Hey, this is Ray. Today is Sunday, July 11th, 2021, and for me, another day of social distancing. I hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well, staying safe. And I've been trying to record a video, believe it or not, since Friday evening after work, and then Saturday I recorded another video, and today I'm recording another video because apparently some settings on my phone changed, and I didn't realize that the camera has been updated, at least how it records, and so some of the frame rates per second are beyond the capabilities I have on my computer to be able to edit. And I was about to get ready to throw my computer out the window until I got it figured out. So forgive me if I sound tired. By the way, I've been up since probably 12 o'clock, and it is now 11 a.m. on Sunday. And reason for that is because I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't find a position to get in to feel comfortable, and my throat was hurting a little bit. I am not feeling all too well, but decided to give this video another go. And so you probably saw the title of this vlog, Listening to Music and Lupus, ? The reason I put a question mark on there is because what does music have to do with lupus? Maybe nothing, maybe everything, maybe I just wanted to have a cool title. Well, actually, I've been thinking this week a lot about my music career and how I listen to more music than I performed. I'm saying that because, in order to become a good musician, at least, is that you have to do a lot of listening, listen to a lot of artists from earlier eras. I listened to artists back from the 1800s all the way up to current, just to be able to understand what they're trying to emote, and what their artistry is, and sometimes try to match their styles, whether it was a saxophone player or trombone player, clarinet, vocalist, guitarist. It didn't matter. I listened to a lot of different styles of music, and that's what I went to school for. Studied classical music on trumpet, as well as learned how to perform. I also did go to school for computer information systems. I did that for a couple of years before I realized that either I wasn't smart enough for it, which is not the case. I didn't have the discipline for it, and I didn't really care for it, so I just decided to focus on music. And what I remember about music in school, and when I was learning, I spent a lot of time in practice rooms, hours and hours in the practice room. I went to class, and I listened to music with my friends. Sometimes we would listen to music in our dorms, or we'll find a classroom that had a sound system going and listen to the music, and then we would practice and try to emulate them, or try to create our own styles. But this past week, I've started to listen to more music, at least to music that I would study in the past. And in particular, I listened to one of Branford Marsalis's album. It's called Requiem, and it probably came out in 95, 96, around that time period. But I didn't study it or hear about it until about 98, 99. Then again, it could have came out during that time. I apologize for not looking that up before doing this video. But me and a buddy of mine who's a saxophone player, we were driving from the northern part of Colorado to the western part of Ohio, the northern part of Ohio to the western part of Ohio, and we had to go to a festival, a collegiate music festival, and we were some of the top musicians in the colleges in the state of Ohio, and we had to perform over one evening. So we drove in, I believe it was on a Friday night, stayed in a hotel, and then at the hotel we were flipping through channels and then came across PBS, and they've had like this performance, and I can't recall the name of the show that they had, but they had performers performing like this circle that was in the middle of the audience, beautifully set up. And it's Branford Marsalis and his quartet. Now, I'm trying to recall exactly who I was part of the quartet. I know Branford Marsalis, of course, on saxophone. Jeff Tane Watts, I believe, was on drums. I don't know who was on bass. And it was either Kenny Kirkland or Joey Calderazzo on piano. And the reason I'm not 100% sure is because Requiem is titled after Kenny Kirkland, who passed away of stomach cancer, I believe, prior to either the album release or maybe shortly thereafter. So I'm going to imagine that it was Joey Calderazzo that was playing the keyboard. But either way, we listened to the performance and we were just blown away. I mean, we just stopped and took it all in. It was like, man, this is incredible. Great music. And I'm sure that the first tune we heard was Doc Tone. And so we listened to the performance. The next day we got up, went and had breakfast at this place, and had rehearsals throughout the day, and then had a performance that night. That's how quick it was. We learned the music the day, performed that night, got some rest, and woke up early in the morning because the other thing we had to face was a blizzard. Now you have to keep in mind, this was, I had a cell phone, but this was during the time of roaming charges. And if you're not old enough to remember what roaming charges is, like basically if you go to another city, if you're driving around, you're going to get charged extra just to make those phone calls. So what I did was we left like toward the middle of the night. I don't know what time it was, to be honest, but it was late and there was a blizzard and we had to drive a couple 100 miles to get back to where I needed to be. Normally the trip would take about 6-7 hours, maybe less. This one took about 12 to 15 hours to get back, and this was my first time driving through a blizzard. My parents were scared. I know my dad stayed up all night waiting to hear from us. I think I stopped at a rest stop and had to clear out the windows. My friend, who was used to this stuff, was asleep in the passenger seat, and I just drove like 15 miles an hour, if even that, on the freeway, and we eventually got there. Of course, I'm doing this video, so obviously we were safe. But I'm saying all that to say this. This past week, I started listening to the music. Rewind when I was in college. After that experience, me and my buddy, we would get together all the time. And we would listen to that same album over and over again, listening to the same songs over and over again. And we would learn every single note. Of not only the saxophonist, but the piano player, the bass, and we would learn every drum hit. And from then on, as a performer, I learned how to listen to others in a group. So when I would perform different groups, whether or not it was a large jazz band or with a small jazz combo, or with a gospel band, or with a Dixie group, it didn't matter. I listened to everybody and said, okay, this is how they sound. The articulation is a little bit sharper, so let me sharpen my articulation. They play a little softer, they play a little louder. I'm going to play a little louder, so I match them. Even to this day, 20 years after hearing the album, I can listen to the album now and listen to the interactions between the bass and the drums, the bass and the saxophone, the bass, drums, piano, saxophone, how they all interact when they drop in, or when they come in, when they drop out. Space, all those things matter when it comes to creating art and to becoming a great artist. And so, when I was thinking about Lupus, and before I continue on with the thought on Lupus, there were times where my band director would leave the country to go perform and do things. Perform outside the country. He was a great performer, and sometimes we would have concerts where he couldn't be there, and so he would ask me my junior year to fill in as the band leader. Go figure. And it was really easy, because I was performing as well. So all I would have to do is really introduce the pieces, introduce the soloist, talk a little bit about the history of the songs, and and just we were prepared, so it's very easy to do. The thing I would do differently though is, so I would have the band come out of the green room, get situated, and then I wait back in the green room, come out, and say hello to the audience. We had a lower balcony. We had obviously we had a lower auditorium, and then we had a balcony, so it could fit hundreds of people in there comfortably. And felt like home, because I was always in there practicing. I was a stage manager for a while, so felt very comfortable on the stage and had a good stage presence. And so I remember one time we had a performance, and the band was out there. I ran out on stage, pretended I was out of breath. I said, "Hey y'all, I'm sorry. Welcome. I apologize for being late, but I had actually ran into somebody's car outside in the parking lot. It was a yellow Mercedes-Benz. I'm sorry for that." And then I just started counting off, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Start playing the first tune. So I used my sense of humor to kind of get by on some things. I didn't do it too much to the point where it was just like, okay, this is annoying. I knew how to use my sense of humor in a way that I kept the audience engaged, kept the band engaged, and that was my home. So with Lupus, I don't want to become an expert at lupus, but I understand that this is my health, and this is something I've been living with for 2 years. But I'm going to have to step my game up, so to speak, and learn more about lupus, learn more about dieting, learn more about how to cook better meals, learn how to budget and live with lupus. So, medications, planning for, expenses that I just not prepared for right now, such as, going to the hospital, doctor's appointments. I'm grateful that I have insurance. I'm grateful that I have an HRA so that I can dip into that to be able to pay for some of the appointments. But, also I have some of the fees that I don't think about, like parking fees, planning for those things. Just a lot of things I have in mind that if I get it together, I'll be able to share with somebody else who's newly diagnosed with it, maybe if I've had it for years and not exactly sure how to manage it. Think about the conversation that I have to have with friends, family, my colleagues, my employer. These things are the things I want to bring together to be able to fully articulate how to live with a chronic illness. So that's how music can tie into it. Is that I've had a professional career in music, and I understand how to manage that. So why can't I manage living with lupus and the unpredictability of, is that a word? Probably not. I'm trying to sound smart. I'm wearing these glasses, and it's like, oh man, stepping in my words. No, why am I even wearing these glasses? Whatever, I'm just rolling with it. All right, this video is way too long. I apologize. I guess I wanted to get this off my chest. Now I got to go ahead and get this video rendered. I got to put it on YouTube and all that stuff. So if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and you'll know when I post my next videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care.